Hello, everyone. Words create worlds. Heschel said this after leaving a concentration camp after World War II. It's core to my practice. I explore how language creates, empowers, divides, and destroys. This quote, thanks to, I guess, social media and the war on truth, is as relevant now as it was then. So that's me, young me, dorky, shy, unpopular me. I was a very unpopular kid. I lived in my head to survive life, so I dreamt a lot. I was a big dreamer. Unfortunately, I couldn't get the dreams out of my head. With that hair, it's really hard to get them out. Finally, I spoke my first dream out loud. And I said to my parents I wanted to be an astronaut. And this is the first dream that sort of came true. Took a plane by myself to Huntsville, Alabama, and became a cadet, I guess you could say. Unfortunately, NASA didn't accept me, but it was one small step and one giant leap into the rest of my life in dreaming. First place I landed after college was as a creative in advertising. Here, I learned how to make dreams and desires for others. Dream cities. I lived in dream cities, on dream clients, at dream agencies. And those dreams led me to NYU Film School, where I learned how to direct commercials, music videos, and I started one of the first hybrid agency production companies called Lucky. But I didn't realize there was another dream sort of lurking behind. So around this time, I used to go to 60 to 80 concerts a year, a lot of them by myself. At one particular show, I had this realization that I was living vicariously, like I was on stage performing for all of you, but I'm tone deaf. Don't make me sing. And I can't play a guitar. And so I realized going to these shows was a lie, and these tickets were like false proof that I was a rock star. So this was the first artwork I ever made. I collaged the tickets onto a canvas, kind of making them superficial or insignificant, and then I cut the letters out of the canvas. The reason I did that is because it represents, sort of this negative space represents the hope and hopelessness of that unfulfilled dream. This is the second piece I made, and I should mention when Rockstar died, artist was born. So this is my second piece. It's from my yearbook photos and vintage yearbooks of decades past. Again, I was a very unpopular kid. So by making this piece, I realized that in school, everyone wanted to be popular, whether you're prom king or a dork. So this was a very cathartic piece for me to make. And so basically, childhood trauma went away. So I made 50 more of these. Each one was like a confessional. This one's made out of 13,000 fortune cookie fortunes. Those are my movie ticket collection. This is made out of feathers. So then 2 years in, I kind of got my first break. I don't know if you guys know Colette in Paris, but it's one of the most famous concept stores that recently closed. My show opened, unfortunately, 4 days after the Paris terrorist attacks. And this was the headliner of the show. Basically, it's just a blackboard where every day people could write their dreams. It was the first time I experimented with collective dreaming. Because of the attacks, the context of the piece changed, and it became like a memorial and dreams that are on hold. But the collective dreaming aspect launched a whole new series for me. This is the first dream machine mirror, similar to the two back there. Let me go back once. I just should mention the mechanics. It's a two-way mirror, a display, and a computer that randomizes thousands of phrases to the shutter speed of a phone. So when you step up there to a mirror, we're just coaxed into taking a photo. I don't even have to say anything, people take photos. So what happens here, because of the randomization, it's like a magic 8-ball tarot card experience. And so the power of chance is activated in that moment. And then a single phrase is frozen over people's reflections. And us humans, we make meaning out of everything. So what happens is the artwork is actually in people's phones, and the mirror is just a vessel. The dream machines went all around the world, to museums, to the Super Bowl in Miami, and then highlight being the Smithsonian in a 6,400 square foot space filled with low-hanging fog, and 10,000 people showed up to the exhibition to experience it. So I think of myself as a collector of human possibility, the good, the bad, and everything in between. I'm not judging. I'm just allowing for new possibilities. In any given moment, we could choose a new path. We could choose a new way of being. Shortly after that last show, the lockdown happened, and we were all online a lot, and NFT technology started to explode. So now we're going to do a little bit of an interlude. Thanks to Kathy, she kind of gave a little bit of a taste of it. How many people own an NFT here, besides Kathy? Okay. So that's the definition. It is actually in the dictionary, unlike the metaverse. I like to talk about it in a very, very simple way for newbies. So that's the Mona Lisa at the Louvre. If you take a photo of the Mona Lisa, you don't own the Mona Lisa, but you can share it, you can post it, you can do whatever you want with the picture that you took. Now, on the left is an art certificate of authenticity. I just pulled this one from the web, but I'm sure the Louvre has one that proves that's the Mona Lisa. On the right is a digital ledger it's like a digital certificate of authenticity called a smart contract. That's my frog, my JPEG frog with an overbite, kind of well dressed. But that smart contract on the right proves that I own it. So you could take a picture of it right now, share it, post it, but you still don't own it. Kathy also talked about the Bored Ape Club in the middle. We can talk about all the different trends of NFTs. There is so many, so I'm going to keep it really quick. Again, those are our profile pics up top. It's a social club, a community. It's a status symbol. On the bottom are called generative art, and it uses data sets and algorithms to build the art. It's kind of a very exciting space. So this is the coolest thing if you're an artist or if you're a creator. In the traditional art world, when a piece of art goes to auction, I get nothing. It's usually the collectors and the auction houses that make money. But for the first time, with NFTs, that I get royalties every time it sells. It's a game changer for artists. So again, Kathy started to go into this, so I won't spend too much time, but gaming, fashion, music streaming. Soon, our news articles will be tokenized, our social, anything we can create. And that brings power and value back to the creator, which is awesome. OK, now we're back. So I came out of the lockdown are making NFTs, and they're based off my dream machines. So since we were all starting to leave our houses and go back into the public, I wanted to take the NFTs into the public sphere. And this is a 36-screen facade in London, Oxford Street. And then I actually had the drop in Times Square on the NASDAQ tower. So I never really became an astronaut, but I like to think of myself as one, because I still explore new worlds every day with people like you. So this is a quote I'm going to leave you with from Yoko Ono. A dream you dream alone is only a dream. A dream you dream together is reality. So this is the DNA of my work, but it should be the DNA of all your works. It's the DNA of my life. It should be the DNA of your lives. So if you have any dreams and desires that are hidden in a way that you have not shared with anyone, after this, share with a stranger. Call your coworker, because if you don't get those dreams out of your head, they can't manifest. So, are you guys ready to dream with us? So, there's 2 NFTs that are being made for this conference. Beautiful and Blank Love. And there's 2 dream machines also with those same texts. We've asked you over the course of, I guess, the last couple weeks to submit and contribute to this project. If you haven't done it yet, there's barcodes somewhere. Oh, it's not up.
In the back also.
Oh, there we are, a QR code. So if you scan that QR code right now, you can contribute. And on behalf of Gabrielle and myself, and our generous hosts of House of Beautiful Business, you guys all get an NFT if you sign up. You get an NFT, you get an NFT, you get an NFT, you get an NFT, you get an NFT. Thank you very much, everyone.